Hello, and welcome back to American Implement's Virtual Tractor Clinic series. On this episode, we're going to be talking about the 6 family of tractors, and we're going to kick things off specifically with the 6E tractors, which is what we have here today. In the 6E series, we have 3 different models. We have the 6105, the 6120, and the 6135E. Now, the model numbers are going to be the same as they are on the 5s and the lower tractors below this family. So we have the 6, which represents the family. The 135 is going to represent the rated engine horsepower. And then the letter on the end is going to specify the spec level. So the E is going to be our most economical option within the 6 family. These tractors are going to be great for hay operations, mowing operations, and are just really a step up per se from a utility tractor or even some of those compact utility tractors that we were looking at. So you're going to have a lot more horsepower, a little more oomph, weight, and capacities to do various applications around your farm. So with that, we're going to go ahead and jump in and take a closer look here at the 6E, and we're going to start by looking at our operator stations. Now we do have some optionality with the operator stations on this series of tractors. The open operator station or cab model. The open operator station is going to be available on the 2 smaller models, the 105 and the 120, and cabs are going to be available throughout the series. So let's climb up in the cab and take a look. All right, let's go ahead and take a tour of the cab. So we're going to start over here on our left-hand side and show you some serviceability points. So we're going to have our fuse box right under here that's easily located. We have some storage over here. And then as we're coming here and facing forward, down below, we have our foot clutch, which we'll talk about our transmission here in just a moment. We have our light control down here. And you might not be able to see it, but there's a little orange lever of the park brake sticking out down here. And then our brakes on the right, which can be locked together to control both brakes. But then if you are in some tight turning situations, you can flip that silver latch and then you'll have individual turning brakes as well. But really for safety, for most applications, keep those locked together so that way you're applying the brakes to both sides. Okay. So if we look here at our steering column, the steering column itself is tilt and telescoping. So you've got the lever right here to do the tilt. And then you have the telescoping similar to most of the other tractor series as well. And then taking a closer look there at the dash. Get the steering wheel out of our way here. Go ahead and key on the tractor. So it is an LCD display, which is real handy. And although they're not lit at the moment, but you will see all the different warning lights around the side. So just showing if like your MFWD is engaged, your PTO is engaged, your park brake's on, if your after treatment with your engine is taking place over here on the left-hand side, your turn signals, things like that. So those are going to be your light displays on the outer edge of your display. And then on the inside, you'll go ahead and see your engine speed there on your left. And then your various temperature gauges and fuel gauge there on the right. And then if we were actually moving, it would be showing which gear we are in. And then also the overall speed. Taking a little closer look here at our steering column. Fairly self-explanatory as far as, horn. You've got your different wiper speeds here. It does work. Lights, so headlights, field lights, things like that. Okay. And then you do have your region over here. So be it on auto or park, typically leave that in auto, makes things simple. Let the engine think for itself. All right, and then you're going to notice our power reverser here on the left-hand side. So the transmissions that are available in the 6E family are going to be your 1212 or 1212 with a creeper option. And then you have the 2412. They're all going to be, or that 2412 is going to be that power reverser option. So you're essentially able to achieve the 24 speeds by this high-low option over here on your gear shifter. And so that's essentially just going to give you an additional speed within that gear. So while we're over here talking about the transmission, you do have your gear shifter right here. So again, pretty simple, 1, 2, 3. You have your high-low right here. It is going to be a manual transmission, so you still do have to clutch while you're changing those gears. And then you have your range finder back here. So I'm not sure if you can see that super well, but you've got your A, B, C, and D, and your ranges. So four ranges, 3 speeds within the range, and then with this one being the 2412, the high-low, easily adjusted right here. Last couple things to point out with your transmission, you're gonna have your foot throttle down here. So if you do wanna speed up, slow down, wonderful for loader applications, maybe even some mowing, you know, kind of getting around trees. And then you also have your hand throttle if you are more comfortable adjusting engine speed that way, and therefore also ground speed. So that highlights most of our transmission offerings here. Now, this particular model is loader ready. Again, what's one of our main applications is going to be material handling within these tractors. So we do have our joystick right here to handle our loader. So you'll simply want to unlock it in order to have that range of movement that you need. There we go. And then we can lock it into place when we're not utilizing it. Looking over here at our right-hand console, all of our cabs and our 6Es are going to be right-hand console options only. Now when we move up into the series with the 6Ms and the 6Rs, we'll showcase some different opportunities there. But we have our SCV controls here, so our extend and our retract options, which you can see here by your decals, depending on however you have your implement hooked up. You have your MFWD that is electronically engaged right here, which is nice. A couple different options, so it can be always on, or it can be just automatically turned on when needed. And then we see over here on our dash that our MFWD light just popped on there. Okay, and then we have our hitch control back here too, so you can adjust whatever depth of your hitch that you would like. And then if you're constantly knowing, I wanted a set depth here, so be it rotary, cutting, mowing, some maybe box blade work, and then that makes it a nice, easy, consistent stopper reminder for you there. So that's nice. Okay. Then we have our PTO. So what you see here in yellow, so we'll have to engage it back here first. That's kind of a safety mechanism. And then we'll actually use the electro engagement here. So again, when this turns on, we're going to see up here in our dash that our PTO is turned on as well. Okay. All right. And then just showcase this decal real quick. It's just a speed chart of our transmission with base tires. Now, a few offerings to think about here that are options within the cab that we want to highlight. What's going to be optional is some technology aspects. So we have like our Gen 4 4240 universal display that can be offered with this tractor, as well with the Starfire 6000 receiver. So if you're wanting to start to integrate some of the telematics and technology options and connectivity options, that is an option on the 6E tractors. The air suspension seat is an option as well in the cab, so it makes for a nice comfortable ride. The loader roof, so we need to highlight that actually. So if you're stacking hay fairly high, then you have this as an option. There we go. So it just really increases your visibility. Overall, great visibility too, though, in the cab. Not too many blind spots when you really think about it and take a chance to look around. And then you can also get some air too, if you really just want to cruise around with the sunroof open. There we go. So that loader roof is an option, and also the vandal protection kit as well. So that wraps up our tour inside here in the cab. Now, although these tractors are fun to drive around, they're typically doing something. So let's talk about a few of those applications. And that first one's going to be material handling. So obviously we don't have a loader on this tractor at the moment, but it is loader ready. So as you can see over here on the right-hand side, we have our connection points for the mid SCVs, all color coordinated, very simple to attach and detach. And here at the loader frames. Now this series of tractors is going to be compatible with the H310 and also the 540M loaders, both non-self-leveling and mechanical self-leveling options. So that mechanical self-leveling option is essentially just going to keep your bucket level with your ground. So no matter where your boom is at itself, instead of just keeping that same angle with the boom and therefore maybe dumping your load back on top of your tractor and your cab and your hood, it'll keep that bucket, again, parallel with the ground. So that's an option to look into if you're doing a lot of loader work or maybe some lesser experienced operators with that. All right, so let's take a look here at the back side of the tractor. Staying with your hydraulic system, we do have a 20 gallon per minute pump that these tractors come equipped with. Standard are going to be 2 rear SCVs. Optional is going to be your third one, which this tractor is equipped with. So just having more capability on various implements if they demand different hydraulic outputs and inputs. Even though this is more of a serviceability standpoint, while we're back here, I do want to highlight your hydraulic oil sight glass there. So that's going to give you at least a quick gauge of where your oil level is for your hydraulic system as well. So the hitch is going to be a Cat 2 hitch. You do have a heavy duty hitch option that can increase your lift capacity up to 7,300 pounds. Your base is going to be about 5,500 pounds though. So again, really having that capability of getting some larger implements here on the back. You're going to notice you're going to have some different stabilizers and sway bars. So that way you really can adjust for a good fit to your implement and then also make sure things are nice and secure and safe. Looking here at our PTO, it is a 540,000 PTO. So you can switch that by simply putting in the snap ring and that PTO shaft will flip out and then you can reverse it to fit your various implement needs as well. So obviously this tractor is going to be utilized for a lot of different PTO applications. Again, hay, mowing, things like that. So it's just a nice, handy, simple tractor to handle a lot of different applications. So making our way up towards the front of the tractor, I do want to point out the additional wheel weights this tractor is equipped with. If you are planning to do much loader work, ballasting is really important from a safety standpoint to make sure that your tractor is weighted properly in order to handle those heavy loads up on the front of the tractor. So consider wheel weights if you're going to be doing a lot of material handling. So thinking about serviceability and some checkpoints, just want to point out a few things. Here, obviously we have our fuel cap, our fuel fill, and then our DEF fill as well. These tractors do qualify DEF or urea to meet the final Tier 4 standards for emissions. Nice handy toolbox to carry whatever you might need around with you. Before we pop the hood, point out a few things that you can see without having to raise the hood. We have our oil check, nice and accessible right here. Oil filter. And then we're going to go ahead and show how easy it is to open up the hood here. I'm going to go ahead and keep the cable on because I am vertically challenged. So that way I don't have to grab it back down later. But let's just see how easy and accessible some of the main points are here. Obviously you've got your battery up here at the front, so easy to get to. Your air filter is easy to get to. Your radiator, your cooling system right up here, easy to blow out if needed. You'll see your coolant tank is just right on top of the radiator right up there. And coming around over to the other side of the tractor, again, your filters easily accessible to be exchanged and change out when needed. You have your after treatment system up here as well that you can get to nice and easily. So really easy to service. I do want to point out and remind everybody of the Tractor Plus app, which is just found on any app store, Apple Store or wherever you might find your apps. And it's going to allow you to download and look at all the diagrams of your filters, your service intervals, make sure you keep up to date with those. And it's also going to allow you to stay in touch with your dealership. So Hopefully that be American Implement. You can order parts directly, you can schedule service, be it just your regular maintenance service, or if you're needing to schedule any sort of service appointments with your service department as well. 24-month, 2,000-hour warranty, whichever comes first. PowerGuard is also available for these tractors as well. But really just the 6E is just a good all-around mid-size tractor. We've upgraded out of the utility tractors, so you're really looking at doing more applications, and from there we're going to see what the 6Ms have to offer.